Hi, let's take a look at how we can use blueprints to create interactive image galleries. So go to the library panel, and here we have Interactions tab. With blueprints, select galleries, and here we have two types of galleries. So the first one will display thumbnails, and then when we click on a thumbnail, it opens up the image, and then we can navigate between these images. And the second type, it displays the big image and thumbnails at the same time. So let's use the first type. There's not much difference between the two. Okay, and now this also copied the gallery CSS and control CSS files to our project. And probably we want to put our style sheet with custom CSS rules at the end, so that we can overwrite the rules in this style sheet here. Okay, and let's switch on test clicks to test the gallery. And we can start using it, of course, in Pinegrow. Okay, let's take a look at how it is put together, and then we will also see how we can customize it. So the gallery implements the topmost element, implements two interactions, next and previous. So next will go from the current image to the next. And what it does, it will, if we take a look at the selector, like the interesting part happens here. We are using the selector extension, that's a Pinegrow thing, to look for thumbnail. First we look for PGIA current, and then we take the next one. So we are looking at the element after the PGI current element. So we are looking for the element that comes after the element with PGIA current class. And if no element has this class, then the first element will be used. So okay, then we play two animations on this element. So open and set as current. So open, what it does, it looks for the currently current element, and it plays set as current in reverse, and it removes the current class from this element. And then it takes the element that was clicked and it sets it as current and updates the count down here. And then it also copies the attributes. So it will look for the Lightbox. That's the place where the big image is displayed. And it sets the href of the target as data image source attribute. And data title attribute, it sets it on the Lightbox as data image title attribute, and also image description similarly. So if we take a look at the the code of these thumbnails, we can see, okay, the first one has the animation, but then all of them, they have the href is set to the big image. And then there is also data title and data description, and these two will be used to display the caption of the image. And with this set transform, we are transferring these attributes, this information, from the thumbnail that was clicked to the Lightbox where the big image will be displayed. And once we did that, then we call show interaction, on the Lightbox. So let's go to the show interaction. So what it does, it will reveal the Lightbox. It will set its opacity to 1, and then it will take the current element, the current big image, like the previous big image that is currently displayed in this Lightbox, and will hide it. It will call hide slide animation. And then it will clone the image placeholder, and it will call its show slide method. And then it will also activate the loading element, you know, like the 3 dots that display that the image is being loaded. So it will call start loading on those. So okay, let's go further down. So here we have the Lightbox. This Lightbox will display the it's not just the Lightbox, but it's like the Lightbox slide. So this is the element that actually displays the big image. And we have one as a template, and then this is being cloned for each image that is displayed. So it has a show slide, so it gets cloned here, and then show slide is called, and then it gets the class current, and then it is using those attributes that we said before. See, data image source, you know, it says it set its source attribute to this value, so the image will now start loading, and also the image is hidden here. And then it sets the HTML, the inner HTML of the title to this value that was stored in the attribute, and also the description to the description value. And it is using, you see, like target refers to the element that has this interaction. So this is the Lightbox slide. And then it goes up to its parent, and then it is referencing the value of its attribute. And the same here. So now this setting the source to the image URL triggers the image to be loaded. So the image is now loading, and here we have on image loaded interaction that is called when the resource, in this case the image, is fully loaded. So the load event will trigger this interaction. And let's take a look at what it does. First of all, it displays itself, the image. It sets its auto opacity to 1. And then it will use the set to hide the caption, so that then the caption can be revealed. And it will also call stop loading on the loading indicator, because the image is now loaded, and we can stop showing the loading element. And we can take a look at that. So here is the loading with like 3 dots. We can't see it at the moment, and we can't see it at the moment because it's hidden. We can use this feature and say show hidden elements. It will show a bunch of elements, but it's obstructed by the image, so we can hide this. Can refresh. Okay, so here it is. That's our indicator. And start loading. It will just reveal itself after a delay. You see, we don't put this at start. Why not? Because some images are loaded very quickly because they might be cached in the browser, or we have very speedy internet connection, so we don't want to display this indicator like for just brief time and then have to hide it again. It will just be a disturbed experience. So we move it a bit here. So like to 300 milliseconds. So that means if the image is not loaded in 300 milliseconds, then this will be displayed, the animating dots. And then animate dots, what it does, it just uses stagger on all these three dots to first show them one by one and then hide them one by one. Let's try to play from here. Because these are hidden by default, but now we selected here show hidden elements. That's why we see all of them, so we don't see the effect how they are revealed. But if we would look in browser and use the I'll show you later. Okay, and this is set to loop. So it just repeats itself until we call stop loading, and then this will call pause animated dots function, and it will hide the loader. So okay, let's get back to our gallery. So all these transitions can be customized. So we have show slide and hide slide, and where the place where we want to customize these transitions is on image loaded. So here we actually show the image, and we can have free hands with how we customize this interaction. But it's important to keep this in place to call stop loading on the loader. But all of this, how we display the image, it's completely up to us. And then hide slide is the same. Here we actually hide the previous slide. So we could do whatever we want, but what is important is to remove the class current from it, and then we hide it, and then we also remove the element itself, because we don't want to have all those old images stuck somewhere. So once we display the new image and this one is hidden out of view, we can safely remove the element. And then we have controls like previous, just scroll to action, and displays the either next or previous action depending on data scroll to attribute. And then we also have the count, which shows second out of 10 images. And this one is interesting to see how it is implemented. So here it is, update count. So what it does, it displays the count element here, and then this one has two spans like that. This is a span and this is a span. And for the first span, it will set its value to the index 1 based index of the target element. So the target element is the where is it? Is the thumbnail. So the fourth thumbnail. So this will be the value. And of all, it will set the target is the thumbnail. Its parent is the list of thumbnails, and children is the kind of array of its element children, and it will take the length of this array and set it here. So these two are nice examples how we can use dynamic values and how we can access element properties and object properties, and nest, go down or traverse the parent children kind of breadcrumbs of the elements. Let's also take a look at the second gallery. Let's remove this one. And drag the second gallery. Let's reload the page. So sometimes when we drag an element to the page, it's a good idea to reload it, to refresh the page view, so that animation interaction is rerun again from start. And here it's very similar, but we also have like a scroll view. The thumbnails are arranged in a kind of scroll view. And then we are also scrolling to those, like when we go next to display an image, then we have scroll to thumbnail. So let's find this animation. So what it does, it scrolls to the target in this scroller, and it adds 25% as an offset so that we can still see the previous slide and use that to navigate. And it has a scroll scene with whole scroll area, so that we set here it's horizontal, and then this will use this information to correctly scroll the scroll view. And other than that, it's just some CSS styling is used to display the image up here. But other than that, the mechanism of how the gallery works is the same as in the previous gallery. So we won't go into details with that. So hopefully you will find this helpful and use these blueprints to create your own custom image galleries. It's really easy with interactions. It takes a bit of practice to get familiar with all of these tricks, like how you can use element attributes, how you can use element like values and access the parents or the children list or the indexes of children. So all of that is covered in our documentations, and also these blueprints are great examples from which you can learn, tear them apart and see how they work, and learn how to create kind of complex and very engaging interactions by yourself.